this summit is needed because the role of middle managers has changed over the last 10 years. And focus has very much been on frontline leaders. And this cadre of leaders that we call the middle managers have had to change their leadership style because the focus and the action was on the frontline leaders. That's where the world happens today. In the good old days, so to speak, the middle managers used to be extensions in the hierarchy of the frontline leaders. The only reason for them being there primarily was that there were too many frontline leaders for them to report into senior management, so you needed to have an extra layer. But with the empowerment of the frontline leaders, it's become evident that the role of the middle managers has moved away from the managerial role to a role that's very different, a role that is focusing on actually spanning the borders and engaging the frontline leaders in building their organization to ensure that we have the capacities that are needed for tomorrow, and also to ensure that whatever goes on is collaborative vis-a-vis the value chain. We want to break down the barriers between the functional departments and the silos, and the role of the middle managers very much to ensure that there's a, you could say, holistic perspective to what goes on in the front line. I think what this summit has highlighted to me, and the perspective that I will bring back, is that we need to refocus on the role of the middle managers to ensure that we help them fulfill that role and get the most out of them. I think that some of them probably are a little bit, feel that they are a little bit in between something, not really knowing what is expected of them. Some of them, maybe the more senior ones, the ones who have had long tenure, still have their feet in the old role as managers of, you could say, next level managers of the front line, and find it hard suddenly to step out of that because they have empowered their front line to actually do a lot of the operational stuff on their own. And so then what is left for them? Another issue with the middle managers is actually that they are supposed to breed the next generation leaders and top leaders also. And that means that if they're successfully doing that, then there's a push for their positions from beneath. So they're actually sitting in positions where there's a lot of hopeful, young, talented managers who want to get into their seat. And so what is next for the middle managers? Not all of them, maybe 1/10 of them can aspire to a top level position. And what is then to be left for them to do? So that's a big question.